You think there's any chance this happens? He takes that job, and would it be a good fit if he does?
I got to wait to see what Nick Saban says in reacting to this story, because if he says that there's no interest, then I think there's definite interest on his hand, because he has a track record of trying to fool the media with what he has to say. Remember the press conference in Miami. I will not coach the Alabama Crimson Tide football team. That was 2006. How'd that work out? Obviously, he's been there for 10 years. He's won 5 national titles with Alabama. So I don't necessarily believe what comes out of Nick Saban's mouth all the time. Bruce Arians, this is kind of an opinionated thing where he gave this take. But a couple of years ago, Saban was linked. There is a story out there that when Tom Coughlin parted ways with the Giants, at the very last minute, before the Giants made their coaching hire, Nick Saban or a representative reached out to the Giants and said, Nick Saban is interested in this job. And as the story goes, he had 2 days to decide. He had to check with his wife to see if they were going to move and go to New York. Ultimately, it came down to about $10 million a year that he wanted, and the Giants went in a different direction. But from that story, if you believe it, there was interest in Saban going to the Giants. As far as a fit, I do think he'd be a great fit for a dysfunctional locker room, a no-nonsense type of coach to straighten things out. I think he could work in New York.
Look, Saban is in a good spot in Alabama. I mean, all he does is get praised. That's a good place to be in. However, I could understand from an ego standpoint if he looks back at his career and says, oh, the one blemish is how I did in the NFL, and wants to course correct that. From the Giants' point of view, sure, it'd be worth a shot. Belichick didn't exactly work out when he was with the Browns, so I don't think we have enough of a sample of Saban as an NFL coach to say, hey, this can't happen. I mean, Pete Carroll wasn't great at first, and look what he did in Seattle. I don't think it's likely to take place, and I think it makes it even more difficult for Giants fans, say they hire Jim Schwartz or somebody, if they've been linked to Belichick and Saban. I did also see them linked to Matt Patricia, the Patriots defensive coordinator. But anytime you have the New York market and the New York media and these sort of figures out there, I think you're going to see these kind of stories.
Yeah, and you mentioned those prior failures. Obviously, Saban had a losing record in Miami. Pete Carroll was a losing coach with the Jets. Bill Belichick with the Browns. And look how those have turned out. I agree. If it happened, it could work out.